So first year, finally get my first touch of coding, and I obviously flunked it. I had no idea what I was doing. So I didn't touch any coding until I got to university. In school, there was no programming classes, there was no coding, nothing like that. The closest thing we had was information technology. My school really pushed us to go to university, and I was like, nope, I have no idea what I want to do. I don't know what I want to study. So I stayed another year, which at the time was not the known thing. You're not going to university straight from school. God, you're a weirdo. But that's what I did. I stayed another year to just study information technology. And in that year, I started to apply to universities in the UK to study computer science. I don't really know what drew me into computer science. I was just always into like video gaming on my PC. I built like 3 of my own computers, my mum a computer. So I just knew there was an interest in the back of my head. Again, up until this point, no coding was touched. I got accepted to study at Reading University. Started there in 2017. In the UK, the universities, basically in the first year, you only need 40% to pass. That's what a lot of people just do. Also, at that time, I didn't really care about career or anything like that. I just wanted to make new friends, settle in, live the university experience. So yeah, I drank a lot. I went out a lot. And your first year doesn't count towards your grades. No one really takes it seriously. So first year, finally get my first touch of coding, and I obviously flunked it. I had no idea what I was doing. We had a module in C and then a module in C++ in the first year. Generally, I had no idea what was going on. I literally scraped passes every single assignment we had, and some of them I failed. It didn't make sense to me at all. So it was really, really tough. And I didn't give it the time of day. I wasn't spending a lot of time with it. The second year, we had a module in Java. Again, not really clicking much. I didn't like the way they taught it. It was very theory based. Not a lot of doing, which I personally believe is how you learn coding. You need to like practice and practice and practice, exercise, everything. Third year, then I had quite a lot of exposure to programming. The most I had, which is hilarious because my dissertation was building software and they just expect you to do it even though you've barely touched coding in the prior 2 years. But hey ho, that's what you got to do. So I had a module in Python that was really, really cool. That was just visualization, taking data, making graphs with it. Really enjoyed that module, had a good mark. Then we had an AI module where I built a tic-tac-toe game with an AI person to play against. And I basically just looked at a Udemy course and just followed along with that. Also had a virtual reality module where we built a game on Unity. But that didn't really interest me that much, even though I love video games. It doesn't really interest me in making them for some reason. I just love playing them like competitively, but making them, nah. And then finally I had a dissertation and I built like just a basic web app for picking your final project, like your dissertation. And that was amazing. That really forced me how to learn how to program. And I did it in PHP. I've never touched it since. In the final year, I applied for software engineering jobs. And let me tell you this, it was not easy. This was 2019, 2020-ish. And I was applying loads. I was living with 3 housemates and they were very career driven, which was class because they really pushed me. I was the last one in the house to get a job. And it was really a lot of pressure to get one because I was scared I wasn't going to get one. Applying for anything junior web dev, junior software engineering, any technology grad schemes, stuff like that. Grad schemes in the UK is basically just like a training contract for like a year, 2 years, 3 years of just training you up, and then you eventually just get the job. And I applied on screen and I had loads of rejections. I'll put some of them on the screen right now. I did loads of interviews. There were some technical ones I wanted to end the call halfway through because I was literally like, I'm in the wrong place. I don't know how to answer these questions. It was really, really tough. The final application I sent, I got the job for, and I was so happy. It was COVID time when I had to do the assessment center. So I was literally in this room right now, in my suit, in my mum's house, and I got my first job offer. And obviously at the time, that was the most money I've ever had. So I took it in a heartbeat. I didn't negotiate at all because I was just ecstatic to receive an offer. I graduated in July and then I started in September. I'm still in that same company. So I started as a technology graduate for the company. You basically have 3 weeks worth of training where you work with all the other grads to like build a little web app thing, which is quite cool. After the month, you're chucked in a literal prod ready team that has a bunch of developers and QAs and everything, and it's overwhelming, but it's like, whoa, this is real stuff now. This is happening. chucked in right in the deep end, and that's how you learn. But I was chucked in a back end team. Still to this day, I just don't like back end. It doesn't give me that fix that front end does. I just find it so boring. All you're doing is just chasing for a log that said the test a pass. It's just boring as. I need that instant gratification when I do a tiny change on my browser and it appears right there and then. That's what I love. So I did that for a year and I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this. I don't want to jump company, but I need some change. So I did a 6-month secondment within the company doing front end stuff, and that was class. That's what gave me the exposure I needed and gave me the itch of working front end in a professional environment. But unfortunately that came to an end because the product we made was done and the requirements had been satisfied and there was no more requirements to be done. So I went back to my back end team for a bit and then I was like, oh, I've just done front end. Why you chuck me back to back end? This is pointless. I'm not enjoying myself. Luckily, there was 3 job openings over like 3 months for front end within the company and I applied for everyone. I failed the first 2 and then the feedback I got was like, well, you don't have that much experience. Like, why should we hire you? And I was like, fair enough, for front end anyway. So I did a boot camp. I did an online part-time boot camp with Root Learn. Manish, the guy running it, he just absolutely loves coding and loves teaching coding to people. Did that Tuesdays, Wednesdays after work and then Saturday mornings, and just, it was hard, but it was class. It was exactly what I needed. Gave me the experience. I built projects on the side. I was able to just ask stupid questions, like actually learn JavaScript and React. Built portfolio ready projects, which is exactly what I wanted. And then halfway through the bootcamp, a 3rd job opening came up and I applied, did some interviews and I got it. That's the position I'm in now. I'm a front-end dev. It's exactly what I want to do. I'm just trying to get better at it now. So I've been in this team since January. I just have so much still to learn. But yeah, my plan is now, so I'm a software dev 2. Plan is to get promoted to software dev 3 by the end of the year. Gain some experience and then see where it goes. Maybe jump company, maybe negotiate a bit with the current company I'm in. We'll see how it goes, but that's the plan right now. And then build my online presence with GetToTheCode. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any questions about software engineering in the UK, applying for jobs, anything like that, just ask them in the comments. I'll definitely answer. And cheers.